Good evening on this wonderful Sunday evening. It is May 31st in the year of our Lord 2026, and we have ourselves a series that expanded beyond our expectations here. Team Chaos surprised us last night by getting 2 wins in the latter half of the evening after Think Rev Think came out strong. I am Aaron Church Solomon here to bring you all the action and especially sharp commentary. With me, Julie, by my side. How are we doing tonight?
Doing great. Yesterday, we saw Team Chaos fight back, thinking that they may have gotten 4-0'd yesterday, or 0-4 yesterday. Was That's what we thought at first, but
That's what we thought was going to
they were
happen.
able they were able to step up to the plate, and this team right here, where we have Mr. Diddlebob, Chris, it was actually UltraCAD, Shredman, Wistfully, and Striker. They played very, very well yesterday. So I think even though they are down points this game, they still have that possibility of winning, especially with Wistfully as their carry.
I would agree with that, especially the point values once it gets, I think, to an higher limit, like above 150, it's kind of coin flip on whether or not
Hmm.
they're going to matter and in sort of deciding how the game will progress. So seeing that there's three tier ones on one side, and am I counting? Yeah, I'm counting 4 tier 1s instead of Think Rev Think. They want to get this. They want to get themselves back in the lead in this series. So they have brought out Andy, Mark Boops, Bubster, Riddy. They are hot and ready to go. And Mark Boots getting his Zoe pick actually in the mid lane.
Yeah, I don't know much about Mark Boots. Is he like a Zoe one trick, or
He
just
might
plays a lot of it?
be. He might be. I feel like there was a Zoe one trick earlier in this season. My memory evades me. I'm waiting for production to whisper in my ear if they know anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ultra knows nothing, everybody. So moving on. So we
So
have the Zoe and the Trundle picked up.
yeah, Team Chaos actually opting for a Xerath ban. They played Mark Boots played Xerath yesterday, and that
Mm.
artillery strike was just so impactful. So they are going to take that away, but in turn, he gets Zoe.
I think Mark Booth is like the poke monster of the league this season between the Xerath pick and just we'd see him. He's in and Xerath is a famously a mobile carry and all about that range. And he was opening fights with the artillery strike, bringing I believe it was an Ash in one game down to 0. So I really feel like he did not miss a single shot last night. And I am very excited to see if his Zoe is what I remember it being. There was one player that had a very abusive Zoe earlier in the season. And then rounding out their third pick, Team Chaos have gotten themselves a Sivir. They're really scaling themselves for a late game win condition here with Sivir and Victor in hand.
Yeah, I like where Team Chaos is going with this comp right now. And I also just got message that yes, Mark Boots is a Zoe player. He actually has a Zoe profile picture. That is a little suspicious, not gonna lie.
That's very suspicious. That's interesting here.
Zoe
And now,
players in general are suspicious.
yeah, they're all cheaters, but that's beside the point. Ezreal going to be locked in for Bubster in the 80 carry role. I'm actually realizing I haven't seen Ezreal played in this league for a couple weeks now. I don't know if that's a preferential pick. I know Smolder has been a very powerful 80 carry to be picked up, and it looks like both teams are just going to ignore it as an option. Senna being, of course, banned as well with Zeri, and now a Janna ban. So it's can't say there's too much to say. Very used to the Shredman ban with the Zed and the Vladimir ban and even the Varus ban against Andy on Mr. Upchuck there, top side of Think Rev Think. But I'm at this point now, I guess the question is going to be like, what would be the supports that we would expect out of these teams for how their comps are building so far?
Yeah, Team Chaos, they can go either way with a an enchanter or some sort of engage to help with the Jarvan. Something that I've seen played on previous Final Boss teams is like Jarvan Soraka, just because that is you can't get out when you
No, that is
are
the
trapped in the cage. Um For TRT, on the other hand, I feel like they might benefit more from some sort of engage. Because like Ezreal, he's not as much of an auto attacker, so you wouldn't really want to go something like Ardent. But I mean, it could be either.
It could. It really could. I
They
appreciate that
are
Team
gonna ban
Chaos.
the Olaf too.
That is a wise decision you have made there, Team Chaos. And the Garen ban, that's what world are we living in now where Garen is actually a bannable champion? What has happened to this game in my lifetime? The Karma ban I do respect out of Team Chaos, and Ezreal Karma lane would be absolutely brutal to deal with for the side of Team Chaos, kind of no matter what the support they would pick up would be. And then the Rakan, there's the engage we're talking about, Julie.
Yeah, actually, kind of a mix because Rakan does have a bit of like a, zest. He's more of a zesty engage support, so he does a little mix of both.
He's an enchanter that likes to get into the fight a little bit. Just a little bit, though.
Yes.
Well, now we see how does Team Chaos actually want to round this out? Because the enchanter option onto Sivir is a really good idea, but that would really there it is. So we're gonna have the Milio picked up for Striker to complement Reze on and wistfully there on the Sivir. And then this kind of means I would still expect for Lake there in the top lane, Mr. Zaitzev Bob Liver, to probably be more of a tankier champion. He's tier 3 player, so he's kind of out of his class range here, especially into Andy. So they've left Malphite open. I would like to point that out. It might not be the best selection, but the Ornn. Alrighty, so there we go. There's the other tanky champion to round out this pretty much well-formed team comp on the side of Team Chaos. Milio empowering the Sivir and providing that cleanse, as well as Victor, just with great wave control and control mage in general with the gravity field and the nano storm. Arcane Storm. So I kind of when you said the Soraka, I'm now thinking I wish they would have done that because that silenced cage of death sounds very potent to me.
Yeah. I think Amelia works as well because, like if you're in for Emilio, it's like if Zoe ever lands a bubble somehow onto your Sivir and your Sivir doesn't spell shield it, he will be able to just get the Sivir out of those really tricky situations.
Yeah. And that'll be a very big counter actually to the Zoe with what Melio can do to prevent any major poke from destroying any of the squishies on the side of Team Chaos. So last thing that was locked in was the Yone, very obviously for Andy in the top lane. So gonna be
Yeah, I
a
think we
very
expected that.
yeah, that's not surprising at all at this point. And it can take over a game. We have seen it. Did not get the win last night, but can Andy secure the W? Can Think Rev Think get themselves once again ahead in this series? Or Team Chaos going to surprise everybody and knock out the repeating champions? We will find that out in just a moment. Going to take ourselves a little break. Julie, we're live for game 5, and
Game
we're yeah,
5.
yes, and we're unsupervised, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you want to actually have a little bit of fun chat, go ahead and just yell at Ultra that the stream is broken, even though we're perfectly okay right now. That's just a little bit of play around there. So, ah,
Yep, and just as a reminder, this is do or die for both teams. They're currently 2-2. First to 4 is going to advance to semifinals, and the other team will have to go on vacation.
yep, you win tonight or you go home and cry. Which good news is an online tournament. You're already halfway there. So. Now, what I'm looking for, and what I want to actually think about a little bit, we can't really analyze these teams usually by standard rates of play. There's a little bit of fun here in the bot lane, and how the game would normally scale. Things get accelerated in Final Boss Draft League, where you like some fighting. Andy being matched up against Lake in the top lane is going to be usually a pain train for Lake on the evening. So I think the scaling advantage for this game goes late. If we get like past 35 minutes on the set, is going to favor Team Chaos.
Yep,
but I also don't really feel like PRT is going to be entirely out of it.
Yeah, because there is that Trundle who basically, I believe he just steals your stats, right?
He steals your stats, so it's best used on the tank. And then there is a burn, as there's like a burn damage that happens over time, the dot damage.
Yeah, lots of heavy trading in the mid lane. I don't think either of them are going to die yet. The thing about TRT's bot lane is they have so much mobility, so it is going to be harder to gank. We saw yesterday when Wistfully was on the Vayne, he was able to get just hyper fed because their bot lane continued to int. But this is going to be a little bit yeah, this is going to be a little bit harder for them, so it should be a more controlled game up until we get to those first item power spikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much as long as Striker doesn't overstep too much here in the bot lane. But yeah, the reality is, yeah, Team Chaos just want to hang back. The longer this game goes, the more levels, more gold they get in their pockets. Sivir has that 500 CS win condition. Victor scaled up is a way better team fighter than the Zeri, and the Ornn will just become infinitely tanky, and the ornaments will come in and start overpowering the rest of his team. So
and they are doing a sneaky gank here, but it looks
bot lane's
like
in trouble here. Flashes the pillar, jumps on through, uses the spell shield to actually negate the knockup. Sorry to cut you there, but they will survive.
Yeah, you're good. It looked like they kind of sniffed it out the last second, started walking back, and they are able to survive without expending too much, just the Sivir flash.
Let's see if there's going to be a return gank here. Trundle's still hanging out. This is a big enough wave. You could crash and dive with this, but the Ezreal and the Rakan are kind of low for it. They don't have the health to juggle any turret shots. Oh, that's unfortunate for Lake. Have to be forced to stick around the top lane, perhaps, after that mildly successful gank in the top lane, just to, I think, get the wave crashed into the tower, into Andy's tower.
Lake's doing pretty well right now against Andy, just able to match him. Yes, nothing crazy yet. I don't expect Team Chaos to try anything super crazy, especially knowing that they are more of a late game focused comp.
Yeah, and right now I'm at least very happy. I know it's still early days, we're not even 5 minutes deep into this game, but the CS differential is null and void here between Lake and Andy. Might be getting himself baited in there a little bit. Andy always likes to get super low and then bait you in and overpower you. But that was the biggest issue that we saw yesterday. I forget who was facing against Andy, but they just were sacking so much CS and weren't really taking care of the wave control situation, and that's really where the gold differential showed up. So this is already boding very well for Team Chaos. If Andy doesn't actually create a massive gold gap between himself and his lane opponent, then Team Chaos is all the more good, ready, and healthy for any fights that might occur.
Yep. We do see that TRT has control of the mid and bot push, so they are going to potentially look for the dragon here. I think they're just gonna get it, and Team Chaos can't really respond with their lanes pushed in, so Jarvan is actually moving top lane for another gank.
Thinking about it, saw the back, and there's going to be the Soul Unbound, and there's going to be plenty of knockups, but he's actually going to be able to ult away. Well timed. That was very close.
That was very close. Still no kills yet. Very, very slow start for this game.
Yeah, and now I think we're going to finally get it back for Lake. He never really has to back if he actually gets the Star Fruit, as I you know, I don't know if anyone ever heard of the legendary idea of Ornn in the jungle, but I might be revealing myself as a mild LS fan.
It's crazy to think that this game yesterday was pretty much the same lineup, just a couple difference in players. They already had like 7 kills at this point in the game.
We're getting into that situation where everyone knows that the entire season is on the line, so they're going to play a little more calculated, a little more reserved. And really, there was I think it might have been in the last game last night when when Rebecca and Autumn were in the bot lane, and the game really fell apart for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was kind of a suck game for them.
It really was. Some sandbagging there by TRT.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be the mid lane that has the first casualty, just based on how more aggressively these mid laners are playing.
Yeah, well, and I think Mark Boots being a really powerful Zoe, and getting these sleeps onto Shredman is kind of setting up for another few sequences, another few hits of that Paddle Star, and Shredman's going to be in a very dangerous situation, and the wave pressure, the priority is still in Mark Boots' favor. So, can't say that we're going to get anything exciting here for a while. I'm with you on where the first kill can come from. But it's still questionable when the first big thing's going to happen. It is. We're having ourselves a slow burn to start out this game 5 here in this best of 7.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for
it. It's going to be a flash out.
I feel like Rebecca went in a little early. Not that it completely matters because the Sivir has so many escape tools, but definitely felt like the rest of the team wouldn't be able to follow up anyways.
Yeah, that was just Rebecca and Bubster there to try to chase down, and they got the flash out of Wistfully, which is kind of a big win if we're being honest, but that's a decent trade on account of all 3 grubs were just grabbed by Chris up in the top side of the map. So trying to make some action happen on the bot side, but not for anything, and Andy and Riddy were either none the wise to the play being executed by Chris, and even now the CS is dead even between Lake and Andy. I don't know what's going on, but this is very good news.
Yeah. We saw yesterday, like you said earlier, that CS differential can really make or break the top lane, and Lake is holding his own here, despite Andy being on a more aggressive champion that you would expect to really bully the other person.
Yeah, you'd really expect it, especially with the skill difference in just Yone versus Ornn, with how much mobility and damage just comes out of Yone, but he's gotten his chain vest, got his gets the counter auto. Call of the Forge God's gonna come through. He's gonna get the knock up. He's gotten his triple Q to get away, but there's nothing to really be done. The ultimate's up and available for Andy. A little bit of action happening here in the mid lane. I feel like they might have gotten some damage onto the turret in the top lane, but not. Nope. They They kind of get it brought in. Let's give some turret shots taken by Lake as he tries to make something of it. Flag and drag in, but Soul Unbound will bring Andy back to safety.
All these lanes are really hard to gank. I feel like mid lane is the only one that they can really look at, and Shredman has to be careful because they know that Riddy's nearby. This
That's the
sleep
sleep bubble connect. He's gonna wait for it though. I don't think he can actually get the paddle star lined up like he wants. And there's the Arcane Storm. That's actually a very dangerous situation you got yourself into there, Mark Boots. One step closer, and you might have found yourself struck by too many lightning bolts.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Riddy
Fight in the jungle here.
do anything there.
Yeah, Trundle wants to invade here. Now we're going to actually get some proper engage. Good double knockup, but there's no damage to actually follow. And this could be first blood picked up by Chris, and they're going to keep following through here. Chris has ganked the top lane so many times and got nothing for it other than just to provide some pressure. Good flash away by Lake to dodge that ultimate. Uses all of his spells perfectly to dodge the all-in from Andy. Flash and Exhaust, the only thing not used in Andy's kit, but pretty much most everything having to be used by Lake to get out of that, but he survives it, and that's what you're looking for. And then 2 kills picked up by Chris there in the bot lane with that counter gank, because Riddy was trying to get an invade, and he paid the full price for it.
Yeah, they're able to pick up the dragon for free as well. I seriously thought that Riddy would go mid, especially when the Zoe landed that sleep. She just kind of walked around like waiting for some help, and then Riddy decided to go invade the rest of the bot lane camps instead, and stepped a little too close to the sun there.
Yep, now here comes the turret plates. Gonna grab his first. 12 minutes in. It's only now that the gold advantage is going into Andy's favor. The pace of this top lane is surprisingly neutral. I can't comment on that enough.
Uh-huh.
I don't mean to. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a boring point after a certain amount of time here, but I don't know. The game is still just super neutral. There's not much else really happening. We had the round of action in the top lane, the several ganks, and then that all-in trade that occurred just between Andy and Lake. The bot lane, big, nice brawl there over by the Tri-Brush with Riddy trying to invade and get himself at least a CS advantage, maybe trying to beat Chris on the rotations and the jungle clear. He's doing it again, actually. He's going to try to get himself a second red buff. Zoe has come on over. Smite comes down. Victor is in the area, but I think that they're going to be able to get out without an issue. Knockup's not going to land. Yeah, and Rezi just trying to step up and put the pain onto Bubster. So, second invade worked out.
This time it worked.
Ooh, it's a little bit of a mistiming there on the Flame Breath. He's going to try to charge himself away, but this is actually more than enough space and time that Andy needs here. And that's going to be a kill acquired. His first one finally picked up. This is what we've been waiting for. I've labored the point long enough. Andy's on the board.
Yeah. Like just walking up a little too far there. He's still. Oh, we got.
Oh, here comes the jump and here comes the run here. Another cleanse coming out, and they're using everything they can to run away. It's kind of working. The pillar can't get in range, and now TRT need to run away. That was Flash, Sivir ultimate, I believe, and I believe also the Milio.
Yes,
yeah,
Milio
there was
ult.
there was a lot used there to try to get that gank off, and it just did not take. Okay, that going to be a few skills missed here, but I don't believe Andy's all too worried about it. There's going to be plenty. He's going to flash out, but Chris will follow him, get the auto attack. 3 kills on this Jarvan now.
That is looking pretty good for Team Chaos. Yes, you want it to be on the carries, but having the kills on the Jarvan can also provide a lot of utility. And I have nothing else to say.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're learning how to fill when there's not actually a lot going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
There really isn't.
There really
There's
isn't.
Only 4 kills.
This might be the most boring game of the season so far. It's crazy of me to realize that and say that when one team is named Chaos and the other team has Andy and Mark Boots and Bubster. Like, We might actually be having the kind of game where there's so many high-skilled people on the Rift that they're like, you know what, let's play a normal game. Like, crazy thoughts there.
Team Chaos going to go for this Rift Herald as well. They've been doing a pretty good job with just trading neutral objectives. And Team Chaos, they have a slight gold lead, so they're definitely going to try to expand on this right now. Maybe before the next dragon in a minute.
Yeah, Cloud Drake is up. We're going to have a Cloud Soul on this game here. Oh, and now here's a fight in the middle we were talking about here. Pillar is up here, but they're able to walk around it. Damage hasn't really hit yet. Sleep will land onto Sivir. There's the Paddle Star. Got to cut her in half, but that's all that's going to happen here, actually. They're not able to get much more done. And they're going to be able to rotate around. This might be, they might have done enough here. Oh, Jarvan caught out. Is going to be able to flag and drag himself away, but Emilio, he's going to be pinned by the pillar. But now Jarvan says, let's go. Jumps on in here. Huge damage across with the Cataclysm. And now that Yone has teleported in, Victor has arrived as well. They might be able to actually get themselves mid-prio. That spell's going to hit again. Paddlestar doing a lot of damage. Yone trying to step in, get some poke in himself. But now junglers are in danger here. The Arcane Storm is going to farm. And now Yone trying to get himself further into this fight, I believe. He's going to have to get out. And now Jarvan, I love this out of Chris here. He's saying, you want to fight? We're fighting right now, boy.
Dragon going to go the way of Team Chaos again. And Cloud Soul is really scary for this comp, especially with the Sivir ult. They're just going to be so fast, you're never going to be able to catch them.
Yeah, and when you have the On the Hunt from Sivir in hand with the Cloud Drake, there's no limit for this team to run down the high mobility champions on the side of TRT. So, doing very well here, Team Chaos. 3k gold lead pretty much at this point. Has the grub lead, so they're going to melt turrets like no one's business. Most of them have the gold lead in their lane counterparts, so they're primed. They're looking very well so far in this match. Oh, here comes the damage.
Rudy is lane right now, so that means that Lake is probably going to have to back off.
Yep, first turret actually went over to Team Chaos. On that mid-turn actually went down probably right after the dragon. Second turret on the map will be taken by TRT. So right now they're at least even in that score line. Let me see here. There's no bounty. There's a bounty onto Chris, so that makes sense. But 437 gold bounty onto the Jarvan. So if they can actually secure a kill onto him, they could start bringing themselves a little bit back into this game in the gold graph. Andy and Rebecca hanging out here by mid lane, looking for a pick onto Resident Striker, but it will be scrubbed. And I think we're going to go back to our library of a game here, Julie.
Yes. This is, it's a slow-paced game. At least we know, like, every single fight so far has been usually around an objective, so just look at the timer in the top left corner. That will tell you approximately the time when we'll have another fight.
Yep. That rings true. I'm looking around. I actually don't know who, if anyone, picked up the Herald. Because it's a minute till the Baron spawns, or do I have my timers wrong?
Did they already use it in the mid lane to crack open the mid lane turret?
They might have, actually. I might have missed that one. It was probably dead in the middle of the screen, but that fight might have caught my attention outright. Now, Team Chaos actually rotating themselves bot lane. No one's here to cover for this. Victor's been pushing. That will be a second turret picked up for Team Chaos, and they're just going to roll on and roll through this. They're kind of foregoing any fear that TRT is going to cross-map them and take the Baron. And they're leaving Yone to actually do the cross-map. He's going to be able to get some hits onto the Tier 2. And I guess that's all they wanted.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I would have maybe pushed further if you're going to trade turrets. Might as well trade them. But they're going to reset and I guess get some purchases. Sivir has actually gotten their second item. So 50% crit online. Every other attack is going to hurt like a truck.
And the Baron is has spawned, so that is something that both teams need to keep in mind if they are making plays across the map.
Gonna get a quick check for summoner spells and what the quests are. It would appear that... Huh. If I'm reading that right, Yone is the one that's actually completed their quest. While it doesn't appear like there's been a lot of progress for Lake with his quest, Lake actually has a teleport along with the Victor, so they can cross map pretty efficiently. I can't see or spot if there is a secondary summoner spell for anyone. So what they may very well be doing is allowing for Lake to receive waves and try to slow down Andy, and then teleport over a little bit off screen. Oh, there might be actually a catch out here. Gonna dodge the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Good stuff there, Shredman. But yeah, map control options are really in Team Chaos's favor with the two teleports. They can do a very good 1-3-1 and then be able to teleport themselves over to where the objective of interest is. So that's their big advantage. Can they coordinate it will be the question.
Yeah, Dragon is up in 30, and it looks like both teams are posturing for a fight.
Yeah, Yone coming in from the back here to try to provide the knockup, but the rest of Team Chaos are just going to move forward here. Going to get a little bit of damage onto this turret. Sleepy Trouble Bubble will miss. And now they're just going to reconvene. Andy out in the middle of the jungle trying to be a wild card that maybe catches out a good flank. That is not... Oh, wistfully miscalculating how far that Paddle Star was going to reach. He's got himself to half health. Bubble will miss once again. But now the positioning is kind of in the favor of TRT. They can come through and really split and divide. Nothing's going to be picked up by Andy. Sleepy Trouble Ball is going to hit on Emilio. They're not going to be able to actually do anything. That is a very good shot out of the Ezreal. And now I think Chaos are on the back end of this here. Rakan goes in, but Rekka is dead. Immediately the Cataclysm is going to lock up a few. But now Sivir able to free fire. Big knockup from Andy. He's going to be able to get two here. And he is going hiffle off indeed. The Sivir has survived though. Almost gets the finishing blow onto the Ezreal. But now we step forward and we step on them. Double kill picked up by... wistfully on the Sivir. I thought he might have died with what Andy was doing there in the middle of that fight, but they will survive. They will maintain. And now this Ezreal on the edge. Can he disrupt the situation? Sivir might actually have to play buffer because, yeah, Lake and Chris are super low right now.
That fight was looking a little scary for Team Chaos at the beginning, but they have so much AoE damage. They're just able to melt the whatever... you know, front line they TRT have, which is basically I wouldn't really
they don't have a front line. Yeah. The Trundle becomes but the Trundle has to be able to get the subjugation onto Orin to even become tanky, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Striker got super low early in that fight. It looked like it wasn't gonna go the way of Team Chaos, but they are able to pull through. And this is making the game even harder for TRT because Team Chaos have such a powerful late game scaling comp.
Oh, you're going to get the knock up there, Rebecca, but it will cost you a little bit of health. And now I think Team Chaos are going to be positioning themselves around the Baron. None of the teleports that I was talking about earlier got... Oh, wait, Shredman was the one that used it. So Lake gets to actually hang out here bot side and slow down Lake as much as... slow down Andy, my apologies, as much as he can. But Wistfully, I think, is feeling really good in their britches right now, stepping forward and cutting down, I believe, yeah, Rebecca's one. Rebecca is low right now, so
Rebecca had a flash.
Yeah, holy. So, yep, that is almost third item completed. Lord Dominic's lining up here. Cleanse used. True Shot Barrage is going to go wide. TRT's just trying to reach for it right now, but they don't get their jungle. They don't get to have any positioning around the Baron. Chaos, I think, might just be waiting for summoner spells to come back, or they might be looking for a window to sneak this Baron, I think.
Mm-hmm. As this game progresses, it's just going to get a lot harder for TRT, I fear.
Yeah, and what's crazy to realize is that they're going to need to get more poke onto Team Chaos, particularly their backline, before they get to the fight than they did in the last fight. Remember, Wistfully miscalculated that paddle star. Luckily, he wasn't asleep at the time, but that put him in half all by itself. And Shadow Flame was just picked up by the Zoe, by Mark Boots. So that paddle star is going to hit a lot harder, but Mark Boots is going to have to do a lot of poke with Bubster and even what Andy can do to really whittle down Team Chaos, and they have to figure out really how to actually spread themselves out inside of the team fight, look for flanks and things like that, because they can't stand up in a fight straight up 5v5.
Yeah, as we saw in that fight earlier, they have so much poke. That's what they need to be focusing on, is just getting that poke
Rebecca
early.
wants to get the kill here. It's going to cost her her life. Turret shot follows her all the way to the end of the world. Andy goes in. Can't really get much else done, but it's going to be followed all the way to the ends of the earth. Chris was there waiting for him. Triple kill picked up by Shredman with his dying breath. His Arcane Storm did his will and deed and trust and made sure everyone got paid. And now the Baron is going to come through. I think we're going to get... Did we get a replay? Yes, we're going to secure, actually. We're going to get they secure the crab. Victor gets caught out here. Exhaust used on him, but they don't actually get the paddle star sent off. And now he gets to actually get the counter kill. The Arcane Storm follows the Rakan all the way into the end. It's leveled up. It's a huge storm. It blows up so many people right now. And there's that final kill. So he dies, sends out the Arcane Storm, and it actually just leveled the rest of TRT. That is a fantastic sequence.
I believe I saw Striker actually flash for that. Flash to try to save his mid laner, and was able to... I think he was able to just give him just enough time to send out that Chaos Storm, so good job support too.
That is what you want. That is what you want out of your support. In a game of millimeters, if I can give you an inch, I might set us up to acquire a mile. And boy, howdy, our Team Chaos taking it. Sleepy's going to get eaten by the Ornn, no problem. Now it's siege time. 5v5 is their win condition. 5v5 is the name of their game. This inhib turret is going down. Call of the Forge God is going to be put on, and now Chris has gone on top of the Yone. Exhaust is going to be used, but Yone, huge catch, all five there with Soul Unbound, but there's not much else to actually be done. A fantastic play from Andy will put the breath of fear into all of Team Chaos for a moment, but they are going to press forward. Wistfully, Rezi is firing without fear, full health still, while the rest of his team surrounds him and gives him the space that he needs. Zoe forced to flash away. Mark Boots quaking in his shoes as the first Nexus turret goes down. The second one goes down. The laser will execute Bubster. Nice to have you on for the day, buddy, but you're going to be having to eat crow here. Team Chaos convincingly take, what are we at, Game 5?
Game 5, yes.
They have taken it, and now is the pressure point. Now we get to see, and let's actually give it a look-see right now. We're going to be going into, okay, so I'm seeing how the next game is going to go. So right now, Team Chaos are in the driver's seat, and they have done fantastic work here with this game.
The next game is going to be a lot harder for Team Chaos. There is a almost 40-point differential, but we have seen sometimes that, points don't really matter. If you can get one lane ahead, that lane can sometimes just carry the game.
Yeah, this is very true. Andy will be in again for that game. I don't know if that's going to actually be a limit if Andy will be able to actually play the rest of the series.
Yeah, that's his last game. This is his last game.
Yeah, so here's the hard part. The best player in the league and the best player on ThinkRev think their last game is this next game, and then it'll be Zimmy that has to step in. And so right now, what ThinkRev think are looking for, they need a win to keep their playoff hopes and dreams alive, to keep their season alive right now. But they have to now win two to win this series here. And Team Chaos now sit on the edge. They have the point. They are under point valued at 128 versus the 167 that is on for Game 5. But this is a very dangerous situation right now. Rapid Fire is going to be in for the bot lane. Maya is in for the support. Tate's in for mid lane. Yukino will be in the jungle. And Captain Rex will be up in the top lane. And I still think there's a chance. I still even think there's a chance that they could pull it out, especially if ThinkRev cannot keep their game together if they do not get themselves drafted into an easy to execute situation. Because we can look at this damage graphs here from this game here. The Yone doing fantastic work, 24.6k damage. Wonderful to see here, but the damage out of that Ezreal is sorely lacking, only 10k. The damage out of Zoe, respectable, even did better than the Victor. But the proactivity, I would have to say, the MVP on this singular game here goes over to Chris for being proactive in the top side, making sure Lake had plenty of breath, room to breathe against the Yone on the Ornn, and Lake doing a fantastic job staying equal and not falling incredibly behind, and doing their job in these team fights. And then, but the Sivir just got to free fire, got to have the entire protective comp around them, and there was nothing that could be done here. Chris keeping his eye on the ball. That's what I love, was just finding Andy, finding the Yone, putting him in the Cataclysm, making sure they didn't get to go anywhere, and just really being the go button, the second go button that Team Chaos had in their arsenal to make sure they got the fight that they wanted when they got it.
Yeah, very decisive game from Team Chaos. We will be back for Game 6 very, very shortly. Oh, we might not even have an intermission because we talk so much.
It's not a bad thing.
Yes.
So
Okay, so we're heading into the draft soon. What I really like about Team Chaos's draft last time, you have a very, very standard front to back team comp, whereas TRT, they play. I feel like this is an issue sometimes. When you have too many good players, you want them all to carry. So you put them all on carry champions, and then you don't have that standard comp anymore. It happens like, it's just the ego. It's an ego thing. They think that, oh, we got this in the bag easy, and
I,
then
I'm
it's
with
not
you.
a
I'm
great
with you.
team comp.
It's not. It really isn't. The poke idea is nice with like the Ezreal and Zoe per se, but they never really got that going. Like there was not ever a moment um where Lake was kind of walking around, idling around, and taking a bunch of poke while the Sivir couldn't get into reach of anybody. It just was never the case. They were able to assert themselves, walk in, take space, and handle with what was thrown at them. The Sivir was safe the whole time. I don't even think Wistfully died the entire game. I think they were able to farm and fight at every opportunity. So what I think about is that if everyone picks for comfort, then the team isn't going to be comfortable in how it plays. Like the best thing to realize on Team Chaos is that Lake can know they're like the quote unquote least skilled player on their team, but they have accepted their role, know what their job is, and can execute on it. Meanwhile, if everyone's job on the side of Think Rev Think is to carry the game, that's not a cohesive idea. Before we even get to the drafting of the champions, you need to have a cohesive idea of who is going to be what, especially before we even get into draft. Can we actually get wistfully onto a hyper carry like the Sivir? Is the support going to be playing into pocket them and things like that? Can you actually understand these ways for a team to play, and then can you execute as a team? And that's why I think you're picking out the play for comfort, the picking for comfort. It ended up
Hmm.
biting Think Rep Think in the butt on that game. I think we are ready to jump into draft. We are going to take an intermission, so we were lied to, chat. But we will be back maybe as a conditional production. Okay, don't. We'll see you soon. Told you it was going to be a short intermission. Production didn't lie to us about that much, and I appreciate them for that. We're back here. We're going to be jumping into game 6 here. Draft is on hand, and I know what you're thinking. That point difference, it's pretty high here. 167 for Think Ref Think, 128 for Team Chaos. But I have a hunch that Rapid Fire is going to carry this one, and Think Ref Think are going to be walking home with broken hearts.
Yeah, that is a possibility. And I just want to make a note that Lugger is currently subbing in for Captain Rex. Captain Rex will not be playing his signature Garen tonight,
That
as
might
we
be
saw
good
him play
news.
yesterday.
That might be good news for us. That might be good news for Think Rev Think, because Captain Rex had it last night of understanding what the win condition was, and it was destroy turrets. The Garen is still going to get banned, though. We're actually the Viego is going to be banned against Majnu, and then Corki is going to be taken away from Rapid Fire. So we're having a little bit of mixture for obvious reasons from the last draft into this draft. The Victor once again in hand. I don't know if Team Chaos have been practicing as a team for like the same comp, but we're already having a little bit of deja vu here, Julie.
Mm-hmm. And Tay is pretty comfortable with Victor. He's played quite a bit of it, so I don't think he'll have any issues being able to pilot it.
Yep, and he's matched up against Jackie. The big difference once again is going to be on the top side, but if Lugger playing in for Captain Rex can actually just do what happened in the last game and keep Andy neutralized, more power to him. The Xin Zhao super power pick, broken pick, picked up by Majnu. I like that. That's very good. It's very good omens for Think Rev Think. And the Senna not banned, and now Shaden on Mr. Oing has gotten themselves a very good late game insurance piece. But are we noticing that something is up and available, ladies and gentlemen? Is there a little scaly Fireboy available?
There is indeed. I don't know if they want to pick it into Senna or if they want something that's a little more long range, like Caitlyn.
Okay.
Because sometimes, yeah, for lane phase, if you're playing Smolder into another a lane that can really bully you, you just feel helpless. You can't stack, you can't do anything but call your jungler.
Gotcha. This is true and the correct. I like the Caitlyn pickup. I am always curious to see. Okay, so we're gonna get Sejuani picked up for Yukino. So getting that tankiness, getting the engage. So I do like this pick. It's gonna be limiting. They're probably gonna get bans against Maya for the support. I would expect an enchanter, maybe an engage. Any thoughts on what kind of support they might pick up for Maya?
Maya, yeah, she plays Enchanter. She also plays things just like non-traditional things like Mel, or because I don't think a lot of people play Mel support anymore. We are going to see a Jarvan picked up for TRT. Is that a Zin top?
No. Wait a minute. Is Andy pulling out Dark Tech? Or is this a fasting Senna
Or is
with like
that
a
Jackie? Or is that Jackie with the Zin? Because I think I've seen Zin mid before.
Let me check what the off rolling is. So okay, so yeah, Jeki's secondary role for the season is jungler. So it could be a Zinjao mid. Um, feels like I don't know how that would actually go into the Victor. Very easy gap close, and Victor doesn't really have a lot of ways to get away from Zin once he gets onto him. So Jeki could bring the Zinjao mid and really put Tate on the back foot.
Yeah, TRT trying to cook up something. Again, though, they will not have a tank, really. I guess Jarvan can be tanky, but you don't see it as often.
Jarvan and Zinjao are rather tanky by what at least Jarvan does get a bit tanky as a more of
Mm.
a bruiser. Obviously, the Zinjao actually can be quite tanky depending on how that crescent guard really limits how much damage can be put onto him by everyone outside of that sphere of influence. Seraphine going to be taken away and Karma taken away from Maya. So two enchanters denied. The Nautilus taken away from Autumn Leaf. So we're kind of sitting in a place where I don't feel like there's a lot of other engaged supports available, at least viable ones. Alistar
Some
comes to
Rel,
mind.
maybe.
Rel is available, yeah. I mean, the Milio could be brought up again. I can't say it would be cleansing much of anything like it would with the in the last game with the Sleepy Trouble bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
A Leona.
Leona, my girl. All righty, getting ourselves some solar action. I like this. Alrighty, I'm happy. I'm excited. And if they did a
They already have
fasting Senna and
yeah.
like a fully tanked out like Leona, that would be so goaded.
They have a really scary engage right now. You got
Mm-hmm.
the Zin who can just jump in as soon as the Jarvan ults, and then you are perma CC'd by the Leona, but they're going to counter that with a Janna.
Yes, I like this because oh man, it wasn't on a Janet, but I'm remembering it was X Special back in the day on Thresh. He flayed, I forget who the jungler was, but he flayed someone out of their flag and drag like 3 times, and it just
Oh, and a
mind you.
Poppy!
Dude, they have so much to prevent them from coming in right now. This Poppy Pig is actually busted in the Janna. They're never gonna get onto them. They're never gonna get onto Caitlyn or Victor.
As long as they position correctly, they should, in theory, never get onto them. Except they could get run down by an Olaf, but Olaf might be by himself. They have a really wacky comp. I think that is definitely a Zin mid.
Yeah, it's Xin
They
mid, I
have
think Olaf top.
yes.
Yeah. And then the rest is normal. Jarvan in the jungle and the Senna and Leona in the bot lane. So think with an entirely melee comp really. Senna like might be shooting from far off, but
Hmm.
this is a very interesting decision by Think with how they've built out their team for what could be their final match of the season here. Team Chaos, though, they have maintained a fantastic style of game once again here, keeping it standard, tank in the top lane, tank actually in the jungle this time instead of a bruiser. And then if the Caitlyn and the Victor can scale up and scale out, this is gonna be really painful. There is plenty available for them to peel away all the jump in, all of the engage from Think. I I'm thinking we might actually have ourselves here a win from Team Chaos here, even with the point value difference.
At least for a draft, yes, it does look like it looks like a win on paper, but of course we do have to consider um, one of the skill differentials. There's a potential for Andy to just completely run down this game. There is a potential for Jackie to who's abusing the Zinjao, which is broken right now, to get ahead and just kill his lane opponent a billion times, but we will find out when we get back into game shortly.
to Summoner's Rift.
Do or die. Think, Rev, think. Sit on the brink of destruction to be taken out by Team Chaos here on this May 31st in Final Boss Draft League. I am perplexed to find ourselves in this situation because Jackie's team has actually been able to, not once, but twice, win the championship in the Final Boss Draft League, and they are looking for the three-peat. And that dream may die tonight. It may die at the end of this game.
I don't know about twice, but unless you count season 0. Did they win?
I think
0?
Jackie is counting season 0. I think he's being that kind of guy.
Okay, so even though most people wouldn't count season 0, he is counting season 0. So yeah, Jackie's team seemed to be very, very strong. He is like supposed to be the villain of Final Boss, and right now they are behind. They need to win this game in order to stay alive in this competition.
And right now we're actually getting ourselves a very aggressive start. Very, very intense level 1 exchange here top side. I would want the junglers to really intervene on this, but I think they're just going to let Andy do what he will against Lugger here, subbing in for... Oh, remind me. Subbing in for Captain Rex. I'm very sad the Captain's not here tonight. It's going to be a chain actually connecting, but very good double knockup on the Tornado. I am looking for this Janna to actually do an incredible amount of work in this game, especially with the very aggressive dive comp that TRT have put
and
together.
They are looking for a pretty aggressive invade here.
They're going to be jumping onto the Sejuani. He's going to be able to get the knockup, and there's the follow-up here, and you are burning alive, and now it's time to get away, Victor. Time to run away. First Blood picked up for Autumn Leaf, so we actually heard this as we were getting into the break. There's been a rotation of positionings that we were not anticipating. Autumn Leaf is actually in the jungle instead of in the support role that we usually see them in, piloting the Jarvan, while Majnu has been brought into the support role, piloting the Leona.
Yeah, they do both have those roles, so they are allowed to flex them. And I have seen Autumn Leaf play a decent amount of jungle. It seems to be more comfortable for Autumn Leaf.
Comfort might be what they need if they want to get themselves the win tonight. I'll even get the win right now. A bit of spacing, nice wave to collect here for rapid fire. And Maya, see if there's going to be any pressure applied. But I think they're going to be able to walk away, Shaden. And Majnu happy with their work so far.
Yeah, as we saw earlier, Jackie with a bit of a cheese pick here. The Xin Zhaoui at first thought it would be jungle until they picked the Jarvan right after. This Jarvan champion is really frustrating to deal with right now. He just goes this AP build and does like 1 million healing off of it. But he still does 80 damage. How does it work?
The game is a little bit busted here. Got to try to pick up their shield, but that's going to be a dead Lugger. I'm not sure about that flash, buddy. There's no one else really coming forward to help you. Regrettable decision.
That was a good attempt to try to E onto the Leona to give him a little bit more distance away from the Olaf, but it is a Leona. She can just point and click stun you, so the flash will be wasted there as Lugger does fall.
Yeah. We saw, we might have been casting together, Julie, but we did watch the on-hit build Xin Zhao get attempted. I think it might have been last weekend. And it befuddled both of us. I think we need to get an education about it after the game was played. And I can see how it can be a game-breaking champion, but it's got to get online. And so I like that it's in lane where it's going to get a much more consistent set of resources than in the jungle, but I'm still not convinced this is actually going to be something that's going to really help them get the win.
Yeah, it definitely has to be played correctly here. Lugger might be dead here again.
Good Crescent Guard here, but the Glacial Prison will lock down Autumn will lock down Jackie, but he's going to keep getting his auto attacks in. Going to keep healing up. Jarvan's going to be able to flag and drag in here. Victor, flash used, and going to be able to survive, but that is not how you wanted that game to going. Ragnarok used here. Going to get under turret. Going to take 2 turret shots, and going back in. Andy in a very threatened position. Lugger with the health advantage, but low on mana.
And the Sejuani did actually fall there. Second
Oh
death
my.
coming out for the Sejuani.
Oh dear. Marith not doing the best right now in the opening of this game.
Yeah, he's falling quite behind and losing a few camps as well to this Jarvan.
Yeah, right now the CS lead is very much in Autumn Leaf's favor here. 42 CS to the 28 of Marith. Falling behind in that regard is not going to do you any favors. 1 kill advantage over to Autumn Leaf as well. And we didn't see this actually last game. Team Chaos pretty much set with the gold advantage in every role except for top lane for the majority of the game. And right now, it's early days. It's minimal, but all the gold advantage is sitting on the side of TRT. That skill difference might be showing up a bit earlier than we expected.
Just looking at this gold graph, top 4 members, most richest members on the Rift currently from TRT. Not that it means a whole lot this early in the game, but they are starting to build a slow lead.
It's a lot of punishment put on to Majnu there, trying to step forward and get a stun, but I think he might just trade his life for not a lot of damage back into his lane opponents.
Lugger is kind of struggling a little against this Olaf.
Yeah, the double range comp.
Not as bad as we've seen in previous games, but oh, actually, he's whittling him down.
That Q does damage, especially if both procs hit you. It can really actually kind of wake you up and be like, oh wait, I actually have to worry about Poppy as a damage dealing character. Not prepared for it, but the hammer shock, it does base physical damage. Let me see here, and 9% of the target's maximum health. So she's chunking him by 10% of the health on, I believe, both physical procs. Yeah, it'd be 18% of target's maximum health if you actually get both procs onto them. Cannot be shy about it. Arcane Storm's going to come out. Oh, and I think as the healing up is going to help Upchuck out quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Oh, Ragnar's going to be brought in here. Flash.
Oh.
I think I'm going to respect that flash. This is still Andy's lane, it looks like.
I think without that flash, Lugger definitely would have just been run over there. Autumn Leaf able to pick up all 3 Void Grubs for his team. That's going to be really helpful for his top laner who wants to just kind of be that solo lane pressure and get towers.
Yeah, and Autumn Leaf apparently, rotated over and made Lugger back all the way up to his tier 2 turret. Now Janna's coming up. This might be a precarious position to be in. You've got your tornado, Maya. I trust the ability of Janna to handle this situation. It just still feels a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, we're not really seeing a ton of action in the bot lane besides Rapid Fire Maya poking down the other members of the bot lane. What is going on here?
It looks like Mirth is trying to get in there to steal the blue buff, but will get smelled out by Majnu. Now it's going to be a bit of trouble here in the mid lane. They know the jungler is not here to actually support the Victor.
Flash.
No flash available. Gravity Storm might lock them down for a second, but it is of no consequence. And that is a very good heads-up play there by TRT. Mirth trying to get that invade, opens up Tate for a gank, and TRT lock it in.
It really feels like Mirth is just on the back foot here. 1.4k gold deficit for him. He's just being very... He might be able to do something here, actually.
Oh, Janna might be dead, but the There's the Sejuani. He's going to interrupt the whole situation now. Gank nullified.
Wondering if it might have just been better for that Janna to use her ult instead of flashing away, or I don't know, even playing that maybe a little more aggressive and flashing in a different direction, ulting the enemies in, because they had their Sejuani there.
Yeah,
I feel
they
like
had
they
the
could
counter
have
gank.
made something happen.
I would agree with that one, especially with just, even if it's the pure defensive option to just ult away. I would have much preferred that as the play, because the ult's going to be up way faster than the oh, this is so close. That's such a tempting situation there from Bugger, but running out of mana is the worst feeling in the world. But yeah, totally would have preferred the Monsoon. Totally would have preferred the Monsoon in that situation, and he is really testing himself right now. Upchuck's probably gonna come in with his W to heal himself up. They've separated, walked away. More positioning here in the bot side of the map. There's about 4 of them. It looks like Jarvan is taking the dragon, and you can put your traps down, Rapid Fire. I appreciate trying to maintain your homestead, but all TRT are here to do is get their second Drake.
Yeah, they were a little scared about the potential dive coming out, but it is a little difficult to dive a Caitlyn Janna.
Very.
So
very
they're
difficult.
just gonna opt for the drag and go do their own thing.
So it's gonna hit double knockup. Oh, I think if they were actually more synced up here, Janna's going to get caught out here. Monsoon is still available, but is not using it yet. Trying to bait it in. Maybe there's the Jarvan going to be brought in. Monsoon's going to be used here. And now Caitlyn brought really low. They're going to try to get this secure, but that's going to be a mis-selection. 1 kill brought back. 2 kills picked up here, but he will trade his life. Jackie goes down. Double kill. Did I read that right?
Yes, it was a 2 for 2. So not exactly what TRT wanted. Yes, you have the push in the lane, you get the platings, but they are going to lose 2 members, which isn't really worth it. Jackie's not there for the mid lane, so that means that Tate's able to farm up.
Yeah. Oh, and there's going to be another round. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that kind of damage out of the Thunderous Strike. I don't think you'll be able to actually kill him here. There comes a little bit of a shield, and now comes the healing here. Gonna flash away from that. Going to survive by the skin of their teeth, Meredith. Yeah, Olaf is not to be trifled with.
Meredith is just falling so far behind right now.
Yeah, they got the one good counter gank there in the bot lane, but they didn't really capitalize on it. And now they just feel like they're kind of behind the play. It's not even like the gold difference is a big deal. 20 CS. Yes, the 2 kills are in Autumnleaf's pocket. Still 1.5k gold lead for the Jarvan, but it's just the movements around the map, the planning, where they are, and how they're able to try to at least identify or at least get something out of it. And way to interrupt the flag and drag there, Lugger, but there's no one with damage to actually help you get the kill onto the Jarvan, so thanks, but, you know, Janna's not going to kill him.
Autumnleaf playing super aggressively here, just kind of bullying Meredith out of his own jungle, able to take his camps right in front of him.
Yeah, and that means that the bot lane's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Everyone's in trouble actually right now. There's going to be the solar flare. Monsoon, anything Tornado's going to hit nothing, and that's going to be a dead Maya Janna going down. And now Caitlyn, you're just an extra course on the meal here. Double kill picked up for Jackie. We're going to be seeing that AP Xin Zhao, that on-hit AP Xin Zhao come online this game. This time we're going to see it actually.
Where did Meredith go? Did he just recall? And then you see the entire enemy team heading towards bot lane, and you just let your bot laners die?
It felt weird. I feel like it wasn't called out properly because Maya went up and face checked the bush and then got absolutely torched. So it's between, like, I think maybe there is an inkling that there is people in the jungle, but maybe Maya was just a little too, you know, confident in their ability to deal with how much got thrown on them. And then, yeah, I think Mirith just took like a side route and headed for their wolves. It was like, oh, bye bot lane. Good luck.
This is starting to feel like it's getting out of control here. Next objective is getting picked up by TRT. They already have 2 dragons, third dragon spawning soon. And I don't feel like Team Chaos have any kind of like insane late game comp like they did in the last game.
No, the range on Kayla will be nullified by the scaling Senna. Glacial Prison will hit the Senna, but she'll survive just fine. Teleport in from Olaf is a very good reason to back off. Yeah, I don't think this is actually going to be scaling out very well for them. I think the Janna and the Victor might be the best scaling characters in the game. Mirith and Lugger will get super tanky, and that's great, but the damage has to be able to come through, and the damage has to be able to deal with the Xin Zhao, who they need to build anti-heal, because every third strike he will heal up by a significant amount. That's a late steadfast.
Yeah.
Oh, good dodge. It's a little bit not where they want to be. Arcane Zone's going to come out. It's going to be good damage, but I don't think the Jarvan's going to die for it. A little bit too far forward there, Mirth. And now the Olaf has stepped in, and he's going to actually dice up and destroy Lugger once more. Majnu stealing the kill. And now, well, I think he just wants to make the quickest route back to his top lane. No, he's going to take the whole jungle. Okay. So TRT, they're not just in the drivers. They're the conductor of this pain train right now, and they have laid their railway with the dreams and bodies of Team Chaos, it would seem.
Yeah. I don't really know what their way back in this game is going to be, because the Olaf can run down any member of their team. Yeah, so I guess they just have to sit around and wait for TRT to make some catastrophic mistake, maybe at the Baron, maybe they're able to get a pick, but even getting a pick is really difficult with their comp.
Yeah, and it's a 9k gold lead right now, and TRT have had a way better, I wouldn't say they had a full-on game plan from the word go, but they've had a much more synchronous play out of this map. And if we just look at where that gold is actually distributed, 3.8k onto the top lane, 2.7k onto the jungler, 2.5k onto the mid laner. And those are all the places that you want it. And now, Flash is you can flash,
dead.
but you're not going to be able to get what you want there, buddy. And they're just tickling. The turret did more damage to the top laner and the jungler there than what Tate did.
I mean, he hasn't really had this opportunity to get any kills, get stacks and scale, so...
Cleanse used there. Not sure if Cleanse is what you would want to use at a non-important fight like this. Trying to actually get a couple of CC pieces on to the Olaf to really put him into such a low situation that he can't actually pressure the turret much more.
I'm afraid we are now in that game state where it's just like you're watching them bleed out, but it's a kind of a slow bleed.
It really is. And I'm now realizing that Lugger has made a critical error in their build. Steel caps I get. Sunfire maybe, because I think could still clear the way pretty well with the Cinder, but it's only now they're actually going to pick up. I think they picked up, yeah, there's the Bramble Vest. So that's the first round of anti-heal that's actually been picked up, I think, by anyone. I'm not seeing an Oblivion Orb on the Victor into what is the AP on hit Xin Zhao. And then the Senna is another healing element on TRT's comp. So this team secretly has an pretty good amount of healing on it, at least for the 2 individuals, and then what Senna can do on the AoE side. So not the best item indexing for Team Chaos right now. Oh, that's going to connect. But now here comes the Sejuani, but this Xin Zhao is super fast.
No Glacial Prison, or Glacial, I don't know what hurt.
Yeah, Glacial Prison would be the call for, but that's Xin Zhao's going to be taken down. Now it's time to get some pig roasted, and that will be Marith taken down as well. Majnu being a very greedy little support right now. Who picked up the Heart Steel? That was Mirith. Okay. Gets a proc. Good for you. You're going to die for it.
And they
And Baron.
are going to get the Baron, yep.
Yep, there you go. Free worm. Free worm ready for yum yum yum. Time to deep fry this boy. They're going to keep their win condition going here. I'm actually just seeing, now that I'm looking up to see what's happening with the gold lead, there's only 2 kills that have been picked up on the side of Team Chaos.
It is 2-15. The top 3 members of Team Chaos have a combined total score of they're 0-11. So
that's gross.
You can tell there's a very lopsided nature to this game right now.
Very lopsided nature. I had hopes that even especially when the comps presented themselves, that Team Chaos were going to have themselves a very potent opportunity to take the series. Ooh, Glacier Storm will hit, but there's a threat from the side from the Jarvan, so that's just going to go to waste. They can't follow that up. And now they're just going to get choked out. His turret's going down. Oh, Olaf wants to go in. He's looking to take out the... Yep, and now that's going to be the AD carry taken out. Andy's ready to call this game done. So the turret is doing a lot of damage, but the healing is doing more. He's sitting on the edge. Majnu has joined him underneath. That's going to be a 3rd one picked up. I think he's going for the pentakill. And now he's gotten the quadras. Autumn Leaf is going to, deny the penta. Will die for it, killing the Janna. But I think that was just a call of like, you know what, GG. Let's make them surrender right now. And they are going to they're going to jump right on in, jump down the gullet, knock down everything. Everyone's dead on the side of Team Chaos. We are going for Game 7. We've come down to the wire.
Sounds like both series of tonight are looking to go to Game 7. So very, very, very close matches here.
Very close indeed. Well, this is exciting. I am very curious to see what the selection will be for the Game 7 rosters. I don't think, Julia, there's a lot to talk about with this Game 6. The point difference ended up mattering quite a bit. The comp built by Team Chaos, I thought, was going to do them very well, but they just couldn't really stand up in the lane per lane matchups, and it just meant that all the little edges picked out, especially from the jungle side. Autumn Leaf doing a fantastic job with their 2nd role on the game, and kind of making it a painful situation there for who was in the jungle again?
It was Mirith.
Yeah, it was Mirith and for Yukino. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So we are going to get ourselves going into a break to get ourselves ready for the final game of the night and the final game of the season for one of these teams. Get yourself a drink. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be a thirsty match. I don't know what that means, but we'll see you soon.
We're back.
We are. And we have ourselves a unfortunate situation for Think Rev Think. They now sit with the point deficit, and their secret weapon has to sit on the bench. Zimmy is in the top lane. Riddy gets to stay out in the jungle. Jackie's still in the mid lane. And then Shaden, and then it's Lumera in the support role, it would appear. Outrigad, the captain's come in for Team Chaos. And Mira in the jungle still. Shredman is not getting his Zed. I won't point that one out. So this might be a whimper of a finish for Think Rev Think on their season here, Julie. But we're now in Game 7. And it's do or die time.
For both teams.
For both teams here. The guillotine has been raised. Whose will drop by the end of this game here? The bans don't seem all too out of nowhere. Zimmy's Wukong will be banned away. The Gwen also taken away, I believe, kind of from Riddy, which I believe it might have been Riddy we saw last night piloting the Gwen in the jungle.
Yep, Riddy plays Gwen. And they're really going to have to rely on Riddy and potentially Jackie this game to be their carries.
I love it.
First pick Ivern.
That is a goated decision. That is so based. Mira just being like, you know what? Lover of the forest. The tree man is here.
And that's going to be really good with Wistfully on your team. They know that he's their primary carry. They're going to want to funnel all their resources into him.
Yeah, if Wistfully gets to go into a fight with 1,000 health shield, that's all he needs to win the game. Graves will be picked up by Riddy. I'm not happy about that. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like a farming jungler when you really need to get your advantages going early. And at least what I've seen out of this season, I think I've only seen one Graves. I think it was Castle's Graves win a game. But it had to go to plus 25 minutes for him to be able to show up and start contributing.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see the tiny Master of Evil come out.
That's my Vagar voice, everybody. Mr. Baby Cage has arrived. Would we expect this to be Jackie's or?
I think it probably is Jackie. You don't usually. I mean, it could also be Shaden. Shaden plays anything, so that is a flex, I believe.
And I do like that Mordekaiser coming from UltraCAD. Was a definite power pick in the early weeks of the season. Just felt like he was an unstoppable champion. First time I watched Zimmy play, actually, he had his Wukong, got the initial first kill onto whoever was piloting the Mordekaiser, and then the rest actually was just bonk time, just being decimated over and over. So I would expect a bit of a similar thing, and there it is. There it is.
Smolder.
The Smolder is here. The win condition is found, and he's already got one support on his team to help keep him alive.
This could be scary for Think Rev Think if they do not contain this baby dragon.
They're gonna have to get some game plans in to either keep this dragon down or figure out the rest of their draft where they're actually gonna be able to blow him up. That's a crazy thought. This is a crazy interaction to ask. Scion picked for Zimmy, that's great and all. So, in my experience playing Alawi into Mordekaiser, the entire matchup is basically predicated on who ults first. But when Mordekaiser ults Alawi, she brings none of her tentacles into the death realm. Okay? Now, shot in the dark. If Mordekaiser ults Vagar, does he actually remove the baby cage from the real realm?
Yes.
So okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I was like, wait, if the Smolder ends up in the baby cage and they can coordinate, Ultracat can just like, you know what? Actually, little man, you come with me to hell, and now Resi wistfully can get out and fly around and blow up the rest of your team. That is. that may come into play. It feels like a very niche moment that could occur, but I just saw that and went, wait a minute, is there a way to get the baby cage out of here without using Flash for Wistfully?
But there is also, on the other hand, when you come out of the cage, they can also set it up. Or sorry, when you come out of the Mord ult, they can also preemptively set up a thing outside, a cage outside. So if the Mordekaiser doesn't ult the Veigar and ult someone else. Oh wait, sorry, I thought Mordekaiser was on the enemy team. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, it's fine for them. It's fine for them.
All good. All good, Julie. See, because what I thought you were saying is that Veigar could be like, because there's a channel time on the baby cage, he could be like, actually, wait, ping for me. Okay, baby cage is going out, and I'm back in the world, and it drops down, and now we kill the dragon. That would be the next level of team play and strategy out of Think Rev Think to counter the counter to their counter. Gosh, this is such a silly cast right now. Shredman's going to pick up the Cassiopeia in the mid lane. This is two very good damaging champions. A little short ranged so far for Team Chaos's comp. Not a fan of that, but can't say that there's a lot of excess range coming out from Think Rev Think's side.
Yeah, and they are going to flex that Veigar. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what death means. So the cage isn't going to. Yeah, it's not following him into the death realm. So the Smolder would still be stunned outside.
Okay, so it would not remove it, but what plane of existence that they're on, the cage does not follow Veigar into the death realm, but it does stay outside of it, which matches, I guess, for where the tentacles would go for an Alawi experience. Okay, alrighty. Nami picked up as the final pick for Team Chaos. I am not the biggest fan of that. Jinx is the other AD carry hypercarry they're using to match the Smolder scale. I'm actually preferring Think Rev Think just a little bit because they have a tankier front line between the Nautilus and the Scion, and that's a lot to get through, and that gives a lot of time for what's kind of a hypercarry with the Jinx, a brawly AD carry style champion with the Graves. I like the Ivern being picked just in general, but you want to kind of have a tanky support and a tanky and they get the tanky top laner out of the Mordekaiser. So this is going to be a very interesting thing. A lot of support, heals, shields, peels, stuns, and the like. And Daisy, of course, can't remember the goated golem of Summoner's Rift. So this is a very exciting game to kind of walk in and see. I am very curious to see if Riddy is going to try to make Merit's early game painful. But after that, any other thoughts before we get ourselves into the break for our final game in this series?
Not really. I think we are just gonna have to see which way this game turns out because it can honestly go either way. Riddy, we didn't see the best performance out of Mirith the last game, and Riddy as a better jungler than Autumnleaf can really take advantage of that. So we're gonna have to. I think we really need to just focus on the jungle this match and see how that matchup goes.
Gotcha. So keep your eyes on the jungle. Everybody, that will be where the game is made or broken. Break time. See you soon for Game 7 of Team Think Rev Think. Final hour.
We are back.
We're back, and the final hour has begun. We have a very interesting sort of... Both comps are stock standard in a way, but there are limitations on both sides. Jackie, with the who has counted both the Season 0 and Season 1 championship as a part of their accolades, is looking for the three-peat this season, has been confident entirely through the entire season that they are going to win it. But right now, Team Chaos can play spoiler, and they can knock out the villains of the league and put themselves into, I believe it's the semis?
Yes, semis is next. And they are going to do a little bit of vertical jungling here.
Yeah,
So I don't know if Mirith knows. Oh, yeah, Mirith is just going for that red buff.
yeah, there's already a handshake for the junglers. The bot and top lanes just need to keep this in mind. Hopefully the communication is going through. Okay, just eat that one like a Chad. Go for it. Ultra Chad up here in the top lane, am I
Ultra
right?
Chad. I like that.
Oh, man, I hate it. And I said it. Yeah, it's going to be the procs. I don't know if... Is he letting the wave just push? That's a lot of damage he's going to be
doing?
Yeah, no pause. So, I mean, if you wanna let yourself get hurt like that, I'm not going to stop you. You know, everyone's got their own life to live.
And Team Chaos have to be careful of this Graves here. I believe they did spot him on a ward earlier, but there's a potential for a gank with the vertical jungling like this.
Yeah. Looks like they're pinging a little bit for it, but the Graves is backing.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy yet.
Yeah, the vertical jungling was the most exciting part of this so far, Julie. We might have another sleeper, actually, another game one of tonight at least. Jeez, gosh, looking at it right now, both teams want to scale. Like the Graves wants to scale and be able to farm his jungle without issue. Mirith wants to do the same. Veigar gets infinitely powerful with the Fervor stacking AP values. I mean, if they want to fight, if they want to try to get an advantage early on, I feel like the bot lane's going to be the only place where it happens.
Yeah, especially with that Nautilus hook. If the Nautilus is able to land a hook on either champion, honestly, because they're both pretty squishy, there is potential for them to get a kill.
Yeah, Ivern here in the bot lane is going to get spotted out by that ward, so Shaden and Lumera will back off. So I'm looking around at this. This is where I'm trying to recall what the tanky comparison is.
Here.
Oh, Mirith's gonna be forced to flash. Will get over the wall. Already got the Scuttle Crab though. So right now it's a question of if Riddy is going to run top side to get the other crab. Good little hit there.
It looks like Riddy's just gonna farm the rest of his jungle. The thing about Ivern is he takes camps basically instantly with his passive, so sometimes it's difficult to contest these smaller camps.
Yeah, indeed, especially these very important camps like the Scuttle Crabs. It's still sitting there. Riddy's going to get his Gromp. I'm wondering if he already thinks that Mirith took the top Scuttle Crab because of how the vertical jungling was laid out, but if he read how much CS Mirith had when he flashed out of the jungle, that might let him know that the top Scuttle Crab is available. But he's going for the chicken coop. This might be taking his time. Mirith has come bot side, kind of surrendering. So, I don't know. I'm making a big deal about these spirit crabs out of these crabs right now, when I don't think either jungler is really worried about it.
Yeah, Mirith's pathing is a little weird. I don't know how much they play Ivern, but he is a champion that you really need to understand the pathing.
Good bubble. Gonna get caught out there, a little bit of damage put out. The Nami and the Smolder doing a lot of good work here. Oh, fight in the cage right now. Cassiopeia navigating this perfectly. He actually has kill threat and will take it. Oh, minions are the only thing that could actually bring that back, but that is a fantastic pickup by Shredman. Just twin fangs locked in, got into the baby cage, didn't never touch the wall. Great dancing with 1 foot there.
Yeah, and they are going to be able to transition here into that first dragon.
They are primed for it. The Maya is low on mana. Might be trying to save up just to have the tidal wave available. Cassiopeia is going to be forced to run away. Gets the gets the stun, but will die for their troubles. Probably should have just gotten under turret and back. So cleanup kill for Riddy, but first dragon picked up the kiss. Yeah, way too confident. He's gonna be able to invade off that. Actually, he's gonna go steal the wolves.
So while Mirth isn't too far behind in camps right now, I am a little worried about the pace and just being able to, because Graves is so aggressive, I don't think there's gonna be any opportunity for the Ivern to get any more invades or do any more vertical jungling. So there is that possibility for him to fall quite behind on these camps. You can just see the Graves is so aggressive with just farming, power farming.
Yeah, and that's kind of the pain point that we were looking for and expecting. Did you miss that cannon minion, Ultracad? I swear, you're going to lose your Chad status at any rate here, buddy. But it looks like Ivern's at least gone up and marked the blue buff, and now is rotating back down for their chickens. So, able to stay at least pretty close in the CS range. It really, I think, is going to come down to if Riddy wants to invade repeatedly, to just kind of, if they can read where Mirth is on the map, go to where they marked a camp and go in and steal it. Oh, going to be a catch out here. A little bit of damage put on the Lumera.
Lumera has to be careful, more careful, because you already have health, and Nautilus is the kind of champion that just goes in but can't get out, necessarily.
Oh, there's going to be a catch-up. A little bit of a fight here. Awkward position as Graves tries to come through. Cassiopeia is moving like they want the fight. Shredman wants it. Going to take 1 turret shot here. He's going to be able to get 1 ultimate out here, but now the Graves has stepped up here. Mom's going to come through, tag everyone. The combustion shot doesn't kill it, everyone. Alrighty, that was just Shredman beeline for that. Like, straight win at everyone for that fight. And no one died.
Yeah, it felt like, you know, when Briar becomes, she can't control herself, that's almost what it looked like. Shredman just went for it. He could not stop.
Fantastic. Alrighty, so Shredman looking for some action. I can agree with that. We're 8.5 minutes into this game and only 2. Oh, correct me. Oh no, Shaden. I'm so sorry. And the Death Realm here up in the top side. Ultracad looking to get this final decimating. Will hit it. Trying to get the slow, but oh, there's the unstoppable charge. Getting out just by the skin of his teeth. Zimmy, good job.
I think Ultracad has definitely lost his Ultra Chad status.
Yeah, you should have gotten that kill, man. It would have saved your entire reputation. But now, unfortunately, you've lost all chances of being the captain next season. I can't enforce that, but I just wanted to threaten you with that.
All 3 grubs going the way of Team Chaos. It's looking pretty good for them right now. They're about even in gold, both teams. But there are those 2 neutral objectives that they have on the side of Team Chaos, which is going to up them later with their stats. Gives them a few extra stats.
Yeah, a little bit of stat farm. Feels good, feels nice. Another bubble hit here, Maya, doing very well. Catching Lumera out, getting some good stunnage. So, we're 10 minutes into this game right now. No advantage. No real advantage for either side right now.
It is literally dead even.
It is. It is. Not as boring as Game 5 was earlier, but definitely still very disciplined. Both teams feeling the pressure. It's loser goes home. Winner gets to go to semis. And that's going to be major bragging rights. Team Chaos, this might be their final of taking out Jacky's team and everything.
Yeah, Jackie's team known to be kind of the villains. They are the defending champion, so, well, it's a different team, but Jackie's the defending champion captain, and everybody wants those bragging rights of being able to take him down.
Oh, they do. If anything, I would almost encourage there to be an MVP for ruining Jacky's hopes and dreams here for Team Chaos, the one that actually eliminates the great Think Rev Think. But more on that later. A little bit of a fudgery around here. Daisy brought out. The second Drake is up. It's going to be an Infernal. And I'm sensing that TRT is going to be able to bully their way into the river.
Daisy still has a bit of a timer and can be quite the menace. I just got some PTSD actually seeing Daisy. In my last game that I played against an Ivern, it was not fun.
Yeah, oh
Red
no,
man.
Sorry, good side swipe,
Oh,
get
no.
out of it. There you go, way to run away very tactfully, just at the right time. So, that will miss from the Graves. Oh, Smolder stepping forward here, getting a lot of good damage. And then Wave will knock up the Jinx, but I felt like that should have been held on for later. The Dragon is being taken, half health. Yep. If Shredman losing all of his health and summoner spells, that will give second Drake over to TRT.
Yeah, and we saw UltraCAD walk down as well. I'm not quite sure why. He didn't really contribute anything and did lose another plating on top of that. Already down to just 2.
A little bit of a miss movement of abilities there. Takes the full axe swing, gets 2 decimating strikes. But this is where Scion is getting himself very tanky. A good hit, good shield block. It still feels like the Scion has agency, has the push. Graves has arrived into this top lane, so can threaten for a lane gig. Might be just letting Zimmy push this wave in and reset.
I'm also just now realizing that there are no name tags on top of all these players. I've just been looking at the scoreboard to figure out everyone, but that's something I did not notice until just now.
I was actually, I didn't realize that as well. I was waiting for Ultra to hear my ear going like, oh shit, my bad. Probably a bug, but we'll be just fine. We're going to remember these 10 people's names until next season for their glorious finish to the Swiss stage. Oh, joke's on us. He's never had the names on the nameplates. So
yeah, I think it's just Ishan has it on. So.
Ishan does that. So yeah, we're dumb. And Smolder's looking even dumber.
No.
Way to step forward. Gets a good rotation of damage out, but it's time to run away. The snake and the fish trying to keep their distance from the evil little man. Cannot get them caught. So that was not a well-advised exploration into enemy territory there, wistfully. That's going to give a lot of agency and ability for Shaden to push this wave in and probably get some turret plates and deny some very very highly valued CS.
Yeah, these, right now, Jackie, Riddy, and Lumera are kind of playing like a pack, just all going in the same place.
That's
running over Team Chaos.
Does this feel like a solo queue match to you a little bit with like that sequence of plays, or is that just me?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? That squad, let's go.
Your ADC walks up for 0 reason. Or I don't even think it was bad that he walked up. It was just bad that he was by himself because the other members of his team were on the other side.
You got a Nami with you, buddy. You got to be near her though if she wants to heal you and knock people up and put them in bubble prisons and stuff like that. You got to be near your teammates. Come on. You want to grow up big and strong? Come on, Wistfully. I believe in you.
This top lane is quite boring, but we do see Riddy walking up. Might be able to get something done.
Oh, actually misses the decimating strike. Gonna get knocked up. This Mordekaiser has gotten really low. Ultracad, he gets killed. Oh, it actually hits. The collateral damage is
And now-
lethal.
Riddy is on a rampage. 4 kills already. Rift Herald is up. They can probably get that pretty easily, but... Oh! Red team destroyed the first turret. They're not able to get this bot turret in time.
No. Sad face.
That puts even more gold into TRT's pockets.
Yeah, they've
Not
got themselves a
exactly-
2.7k gold lead.
Not what you want to see from Team Chaos, especially with that Graves, who's getting quite fed and can potentially just one-shot your carries.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, into the baby cage. It's going to be able to actually dodge most of the damage. Brought down to low, and oh, way to block that. Oh my goodness, you are so low, Resi. Get that dragon out of here. He is about to die.
I think the splash damage still hit him.
And now Ivern's dead.
And
Oh!
yeah.
Oh.
There is that one shot, not even the carry, just the Ivern walking up a little too far and is going to pay for it. This is what's kind of scary about this jungle matchup is you have basically a secondary support versus a very scary one-shotting
Lethality building Graves. Like, this guy is
yes.
going to be able, if he can get anyone one-on-one, he will kill them. And I don't even think Mordekaiser's got a chance of it. So we're getting to the place now where Team Chaos, they want to be able to like group up to kind of utilize this double support comp. It's a team fight comp. So the 1v1 matchup in the jungle is not really a relevant thing anymore, but it's still really scary because Riddy can do whatever he wants right now. And they look at, actually I just realized, look at the wards there in the blue side jungle of Team Chaos. There's some deep wards there put into place, and that just gives so much control. Good shield usage, but now Riddy has arrived. Death Realm not going to be picked up. Trying to keep the... Oh, he's put... Nope. Okay. Try to get something there, but now Riddy is dominating.
Yep. Right in time for that next objective, the Rift Herald, and Riddy's actually just gonna come into the enemy jungler's jungle, trying to do a little more harassment.
Yep, gonna be able to actually pick it up. Almost gets the stun, but now, oh, there's a big shutdown goal to be picked up. They've used everything to try to catch this Graves. They might have to settle for the Scion, but he's gonna be able to, if he gets a clear line of sight. Oh, the stun misses again. There's the unstoppable charge. And that's a free play. Jinx forced to flash, but now there's the miasma, and there's gonna be the burn. Oh, and a lot of damage over time, but I think she's gonna survive.
Yeah, she has a refillable pot, so
oh, this gets
able
into a
to
Shredman
heal up
once
with
again,
that.
going in for it. A lot of pressure applied. Gonna be able to probably get some damage onto this turret. They may be able to take it out. They've got enough minions available, I think. But this is where Team Chaos, they're not getting the kills that they need. They're getting pressure. They are utilizing it. They should be able to get this tower. There we go. So minimizing that gold lead, but not getting those kills is one of those, like, come on, can we please get this over the line? Can we please get at least one kill? 2-6 right now is the score. But I feel like they need more if they feel like they're going to have a chance to win this game.
We do see a 4k gold deficit, mostly in the top side. Again, this was just like the last game. The top laner, the jungler, this is where we are seeing the big differences.
And surprisingly, looking at the CS difference or something, it might have been... No, there's still only shutdown gold onto Riddy, but Second highest gold is actually the Smolder, so big surprise there. And he's now target number 1. I don't know if Graves is going to need help. Flashes away from the hook. Well done, wistfully. And that's a 4-man roam. Trying to get a pick before the dragon's up in 2 minutes. Minute and 50 now. So, somehow misses it.
It isn't the most important dragon for them because they were able to at least pick up 1 dragon earlier. So it is, they may or may not contest this next one coming up.
Well, they have at least extended the game by an extra 5 minutes before TRT will get themselves to a game-winning stat line, getting with the Hextech Drake Soul. Be mindful of the gates. Do have your purses and goods held tightly to you when you go through them.
A little surprised that Rudy just didn't do the Herald. Like, I don't know, sometimes I swear he's just allergic to certain certain objectives. He just will not do them.
Yeah, he's going to keep farming here. Now Daisy's been brought out. It's going to be actually sticked onto the Vagar. Graves coming in from the side here. Good double knock-up here, Daisy. Providing the space. That's an exact trade that you would want. Ultimate for no dead AD carry, jungler, or support. Happy about that. But it does mean Daisy is going to be pretty low on health going into this dragon fight. 30 seconds till it's up. She's down to 400 health. I would almost want to throw her in to get her killed faster. Otherwise, she's just going to be more of a distracting problem for Team Chaos than a Space Taker and a CC bot to be in the pain in the ass for TRT.
Yeah, seems like they are posturing for a 5v5 fight here.
You have to fight for vision at the river. Baby Cage is down. Big damage on to the Mordekaiser. Altracat brought low. He's going to try to get a pull in. Rake misses. And it's going to be a pull in. The guy actually got the root here, and now Vagar has been put into the death realm. Oh, he's going to be able to stun out, and that's going to be a dead Mordekaiser. Mom comes through, tags only the Jinx, but there's not a lot of other ground gain. And now the Unstoppable Force is going to come through. Doesn't knock anyone up here. Flashed away from the Nami, and now Smolder, he's kind of sitting on the front line, but able to get out some good damage. Ivern put into the Baby Cage, double knockup. Tree Man has been felled. And now the Scion is just able to face tank, just able to walk in and gives so much space, so much breathing room for the rest of TRT, and they're going to win that fight handedly.
Yeah, Team Chaos don't really have a lot of engage tools. So if they are not the ones who are there first at the dragon, they are gonna really struggle to even enter the fight. We saw there Ultracad flashing in, trying to target one of the carries and take them out of the fight, but beyond that, the rest of his team couldn't really do anything because they don't have any engage tools. The Daisy was gone already. I do want to make a note though. We do see the Smolder already has the execute.
Yeah, so the stacks have been acquired. So the win condition has entered the room. I'm not sure if they're going to have enough time or the opportunity to win the game, because if Ultracat, I think, needs to actually adjust what their focus is. Trying to take out the Vagar is ambitious, but he walked into the cage wall and got stunned up and then just got absolutely blown up. If that's his target, he should be actually getting himself some MR. But I would almost debate if it would be better for him to hold on to that for something, a different target or something. Because the Scion was able to stand there and just eat every bit of damage that came out of the Cassiopeia, the Smolder, and that's it. Those are the 2 points of damage on the side of Team Chaos. Everything else is just support. They need... Mordekaiser might have been a bad pick, actually, in the draft, because he needs to be out there. He needs to be buying space, and probably... I think the Scion might be a better target for him.
I agree with that. Scion, or maybe even... well, I think Riddy will just one-shot him, so that might not work.
Yeah, he'd remove Riddy just long enough to get caught out. Good. Yeah, flashes away. Still gonna get caught out here. Good damage. Gets out of the smoke. He's burning. Burn will not finish him off here. Dodges Mom. Okay, so again, this is where Team Chaos try to find a pick, but they don't have the CC connecting to lock them down. And that's crazy to say on account of the Nami, the Miasma from the Cassiopeia, and then the root from the Ivern. So they're just missing these opportunities by tiniest of margins. And it's really souring their ability to, like, fight back in this game.
And meanwhile, Zimmy able to do a bunch of damage to that bot lane turret.
Yeah, I don't know how, but this Scion's actually kicking this Mordekaiser's butt. I did not expect that.
I feel like the Scion is getting a lot of work done. Mordekaiser wasn't even able to get that tier 1 turret in the top lane.
Yeah, the map rotations just meant that, yeah, what is it? The turret exchange is even, but I really don't know how that actually ends up. You end up losing both your tier 1s on the top and bottom, and let me look at this. So it's the bot tier 1 and then the mid tier 1 that were taken by Team Chaos. So they at least still have their most important, the actual, linchpin of map control with their mid lane turret still in hand. But I don't imagine that'll be for much longer.
We got 1 minute 30 until this Dragon Soul spawns. You might see something a little earlier though.
They're getting
Lots of
pinged.
pings coming out.
Yeah, TRT are aware that they're in the jungle. I don't know if they're going to try to, like, sneak the Baron. They don't have the tankiness for this, I don't think. Scion has actually just ran his way all the way over. There goes the dragon. Oh, Wave going to be knocked in, and Mom called in here, but this damage from the Smolder isn't actually doing anything to the Scion. Mordekaiser teleports in to just die. Oh, less than ideal. Jinx is going to get caught out here. Cassiopeia doing the best he can, but she can actually find anything. Gets hooked up, gets blown up. Jackie's on a killing spree. And see, the burn is ticking, but it's not affecting the Scion. He has eaten so many flame breaths from Wistfully, but it's not penetrating. It's not coming through. The stacks aren't high enough to where it's going to burn out the rest of the backline. The rest of TRT are keeping the space, and this is a very awkward fight here. They're going to be pushed in the... Oh, boy, yeah. Oh, and this is where the teleport comes in. He flies in, gets immediately executed by the Vhagar. The little root stun, and Shredman looks at his opportunity, but then the flash away just ruins his ability to actually do anything to try to get a counter kill. And no one on the side of TRT dies in that fight. They have 5 Barons.
This is indeed the wrong kind of chaos, as Lucidium said in the chat. They are just falling apart right now. They have no cohesion, and there is the unstoppable onslaught.
I'm not going to confirm, but there's the baby cage and flash over the wall into the chicken coop to stay alive, to keep himself safe. But this Graves is going to find himself a back door, going to try to put some pressure on to the back line of Team Chaos and even take out the turret. This is TRT. They're moving. Oh, that's a good catch right there. Mordekaiser brought low. He's going to try to actually get something. He gets some good damage onto the Graves, but the Graves will survive. The Ignite is not going to finish him off. This is an opportunity right now. One of the big damage dealers is gone, but that baby cage, it'll prevent them from entering the river. And now they're going to move too.
I don't know if they can rush this dragon in time and get away, because Riddy is on his way back and moving quickly.
Bushes are going to keep them covered. Dragon is at half health. They might have actually secured this, but can they actually get out? Bubble will prevent the engage from the Nautilus, but you still got to stop this Scion.
What is that CD?
Shredman, he's going to get himself into the river. Great 3-man stun, but it will just be a nice moment. Don't look at the rest of that highlight reel because he gets destroyed.
I think Shredman actually made the right play there by drawing away the attention of the other members of TRT, because if they lose the fight there, they all die, there's a potential that they actually just end the game with these long timers.
And that they might have delayed the inevitable, though. We're at a 9.8k. It's going to be a 10k gold lead before long. And there is still nowhere near destroying this Scion. Look at that. That's several flame breaths hitting, and there's been more health lost by this Mordekaiser. What is this Mordekaiser turned into? He's got nothing but damage. You need to be going into a tankier build here, Ultracat. The attack speed increase doesn't do anything for you. Omrecker, I'm down for that one as your first item, but you needed a lot more tankier options. I don't know how this Scion has gotten so far ahead of this Mordekaiser, but it is this Scion is actually softly carrying this game right now.
Yeah, UltraCAD making several missteps here. A lot for his build going the AP route when you're already behind is not the best idea.
The best idea at all. This is kind of where I want to do my research actually after this game, because I need to wind down somehow. Let me read a boring thing if I can actually get some sort of answer from the internet about what does the lane matchup actually play out between a Mordekaiser and a Scion without any intervention, because this is not what I expected at all. He's only gotten 50 CS lead over UltraCAD and 7 assists. It shouldn't equal a 3.7k gold advantage, but maybe that's coming far more from the 7 turrets that have been taken out across the map.
Yeah, Zimmy just has had way more impact this match. UltraCAD literally hasn't had a single kill participation.
But they have died.
Yeah, he's participated in the dying part.
That's a Death Realm. That's a Death Realm on to who I can't tell. It's the Graves. He does not actually get killed, but they're trying to actually entrap him. They're going to be able to get a little bit here. Shredder might be able to finish him off here. Uses the ultimate. Questionable move here. The execution will not finish him. Dodges the rocket. But on the other side of the map, the Scion is pushing for the win, and they're super low. And now the Nautilus, he knows what his job is. Tries to go back in here. Ivern caught into the baby cage. The execution damage will come through. The rockets are flying left and right. Triple kill picked up by Shaden on the Jinx. I think we have a GG. TRT will stand tall. They will stand strong. Andy gets to wipe the sweat off of his brow. Jackie gets to flaunt that ego, flaunt his chances at getting the 3-peat off. Shredman's going to get in here and try to get something done, but there's too much damage already in hand. This Jinx is annihilating everyone, and just to flat Zimmy eats the laser for 5 hits. The Nexus blows up. We have ourselves a winner. The Swiss stage will conclude, and TRT will survive and continue their climb back up to the championship.
I believe we do have a broken post-game screen, so all you're gonna see is a black screen. Oh, never mind. It's fixed.
Well
there
done.
we go. Look at that damage graph. The Smolder doing 40k, but it was not enough because the rest of his team just frankly inted.
And this is where I like Ivern. I like Ivern as a concept. I think he's unique. I think he's fun. I think there's a lot of interplay between the brushes and Daisy. And so I'm not even interested in the damage graph on his part, but it's the ability for them to really, I'm not sure if what he would provide, even with the right items, would have been enough to enable the Smolder, because this game only got to 32.5 minutes. Maybe if it went to 35 minutes, there would have been enough stacks on the Smolder to get to a very dangerous point. But we saw what that Scion was able to do. If we actually had an alternative graph here, instead of damage dealt, I want to see how much damage was eaten by that Scion, because I think it would eclipse everyone else in the game by many, many, many numbers. So I don't know. The rest, I actually have the big blame point here. Captain UltraCAD. Ultra Kitty, which the Mordekaiser, I was promising, I was hoping for good things out of that Mordekaiser Ultra Kitty, but that top lane situation did not play out, and you were desperate on some of your plays, and it really meant that the rest of your team fell apart because you were the front line, and it fell apart. It did not happen, and I think we're able to capitalize, stay strong, and press forward.
Yep. And Jackie actually did a lot there too. Was able to just kind of blow up anybody who tried to walk up. I feel like Team Chaos, they really struggled just getting any type of engage. Even if they were able to pick, say, the Graves, they could never fully lock him down and kill him, because if the Veigar was there, that cage just does so much to to stop you from being able to proceed forward.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest non-ultimate CC abilities in the game for just a very wide AoE stun that, it used to be instantaneous. Not to jump into a history lesson, but Jackie understood his assignment, even topped out for damage. That execute from his primordial burst is a percentage health related ability. So able to just figure out who is about to die and make sure they died, so none of the heals or shields could actually secure or save anyone. So we're going to have to give our salutes. We're going to fill the boat with their bodies and send it off into the water. And I would even let Jackie to fire the flaming arrow to send Team Chaos off into the night. Their season is over and they have fallen. And we must bid them adieu.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.